Well, good morning, everybody. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in Central California in my garage. So I meant to, I don't get that light in there. I meant to record a airborne update this week. However, I went out and I flew for about half an hour and talked the whole time and got down and landed, and my microphone was not working, even though I tested it before I took off. So sorry, there should have been an airborne update this week, but now there is not. And I can't do it today because um, it's just a lousy, miserable day to fly right now. So I'm not going to do that out there. So we're going to stay here in my messy garage, and I'll just kind of briefly go over what I was going to talk about in that airborne update. So I talked a little bit about the the fact that my boss left. We all know that, and the CIO has given us a little more insight into the direction he wants to take. So what he wants to do is hire a security, basically not a security officer, but a security specialist. So with all the attacks on hospitals, we're like the number one target right now. He wants to make sure that we're up on top of all that stuff. So we're going to hire, the person's going to specialize in security with a background in networking, is what he told me this last time I talked to him. So if you've got a security background and you understand any kind of networking, doesn't have to be extreme networks, because extreme is extremely learnable. Our core network uses the same command set as Cisco does. It's like 99.9% the same as what Cisco would use on our core routers or our core switches. The edge switches are XOS. They're a little different, but it's super easy to learn. So we are going to be looking for somebody like that in the coming months. That person will end up being my supervisor. And I wanted to be kind of upset that they didn't ask me to do it for like half a second. And I realized I really don't want that job. I don't want that responsibility to be responsible for the security for the whole hospital. I don't want it. Sorry. That's not me. That's not my forte. That's not my background. So we'll get a security guy in. Looking forward to that. And the CIO, who's going to be our acting supervisor for now, said he does want to make sure that person has a networking background. And I believe they're also looking at maybe hiring a more junior server admin. I'm not sure, because right now we have 2 consultants to help with server stuff and nobody to help with network stuff. So I think that this higher level person that they're going to hire may be required to help with both servers and networks, or they may hire a more junior server admin to help with some of that stuff. So that's what we got going on there. As far as projects this year that are coming up, we've got the UPS battery replacement project, which is going on, which is really not so much me as more engineering, because where they've got some of these UPS mounted, I can't even get to them. So they'll have them in a rack that's like way up there, 10 feet up, and carrying a battery up there, and it's nah. We'll let the engineers do that, because they've got their ladders and they're basically stronger than me anyway. So, and they're happy to do that. So there's a UPS project which is currently ongoing right now, which is just like I said, replacing batteries. Project I'm putting in for in the next budget year is replacing all of our access points. So our APs, our extreme networks, 3935s and 3965s. 3935 is the version we're using indoors, and 3965 is an outdoor AP. They are coming up on end of service life in 2025, which means they're already at the point where they're not providing any more software updates for these APs. So that's done. That ship has sailed. End of sale is coming up this summer, and end of service life is next year, which means they won't provide any more spares. So right now, if one breaks, I can RMA it and get a spare. But coming up very soon, no, we won't even be able to do that. So that's what convinced him. I said, hey, we need to do something. It's up to you, but hey. So he did see the reasoning in that. So one other project he was kind of interested in, but I told him, look, we don't have the personnel to support that. Would be the Knack. What's a Knack? Network Admission Control. That's a project I've been putting in for every year that I've been at this place. 7 years in a row. 7 years they've quashed it. Well, this year he was kind of wanting to do it, and I said, well, you don't have anybody to support it. You're down to one network person. I've got a very complex firewall to support. I've got a complex network to support. I can't do one more complex thing, because the Knack, really, between that and the firewall, that's a full-time job. So, and getting it set up is no trivial task. I mean, it might be for somebody who's done it time and time and time again, but I haven't ever done it, ever. So, and what the Knack will basically do is it'll do 802.1x authentication. We already do use it for that for wireless networks, but we could do that on every wired port. You can have it examine the system. So the use case he really liked that I pointed out is that, let's say somebody wanted to plug a Windows XP system in for some reason. And I bring that up because somebody wanted to do that this week. I pointed it out to him. I said, well, you're the security officer. You need to say yes or no to this, because they're wanting me to put this on the network. And I said, it's XP, tons of security holes and flaws that aren't patched anymore. So he said, well, is there anything we could do that could just, if they try to plug it in, it just won't let them work? I say, oh yeah, that's what the Knack does. We wouldn't even have to be setting up VLANs on ports. You get it all set up in the Knack. You could assign different MAC addresses, different IPs to different MAC addresses to different VLANs. They'll get the correct VLAN, they'll get the correct IP address, no matter what switch port they plug into anywhere. I said, the problem is getting that all set up takes a lot of work. And there's just not enough of me to go around for that. So you don't have enough staff for that. I said, you can ask me to do it, I will fail. So, and he understands, he got it. He knows that we're just spread really thin right now. And it would be nice if we could do all these wonderful things, but we need people to do it, and they don't want to give us staff. They don't want to give us budget for people. So, you got to accept what we have. So, anyway, the Knack might be a project for next year. So that's what we got going on this year so far. New person, new UPS batteries, new wireless APs. Oh, and on top of that wireless AP, he wants to pay for them to come in and do. We've had 3 of these studies done since I've been here. He wants yet another wireless coverage study done to specify where would be the best place to put these APs up to make sure we have full coverage of the hospital and we can do real-time location. The last time we talked about real-time location, the union got involved and said, no, that would be an invasion of privacy. So we'll see where that goes. At any rate, we'll get the study done. They'll tell us where the AP should go, and I already talked to our engineering group when they expressed interest in going ahead and putting those up for us, because they have to make sure everything's done to specific standards. There's a group here in California called OSHPOD that oversees basically everything to do with hospitals. They certify hospitals. They allow them to operate, and you have to do these installs a very certain way. Keep getting that light bulb in there, and you have to make sure that it adheres to the codes that OSHPOD puts out, and our engineering department is very good at that. So they will be installing those APs for us. So until then, I'm just in survival mode, not doing anything new other than the projects that one project I put in for, wireless, because really that's about all I can handle right now. Now, if I was younger, like some of you guys, and a real go-getter, I probably could do more than one, but sorry, I'm getting up there. I just can't think as fast as I used to. I can't track as many things in my head as I used to, so it is what it is. So I got some other pretty good content coming up. There's a certain wiring closet I cleaned up, and it is now messier than when I first cleaned it up. So we're going to talk about the deconstruction of a cleaned up wiring closet. That's coming up. I got one switch that's just giving me fits. I cannot get it to connect. I think we're pushing multi-mode about as far as we can, and we're using the wrong transceivers for it. We know that, but it's working. So we're just the others are working. We just have one bad fiber run. We have to find a good one, and then we'll call that one good for now. Until my buddy gets a single mode fiber run out there to that particular closet. And trying to think, there's probably a few other really cool things coming up that I can't think of. So I'll go ahead and cut this one off here. I'm watching a football game. It's halftime. So sorry I didn't get the airborne update out for you this week, guys, but I'll get another one coming up real soon, as soon as the weather gets better. So that's all I got for this week. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button, and don't worry, it'll get better than this. Click the notification bell, thumbs up, thumbs down, and keep those prayer requests coming. We all got to keep praying for each other. And no matter what, remember, to God alone be the Gloria. Soli Deo Gloria. That's what I meant to say. All right. God bless everybody. We'll see you guys next week.